So welcome tonight, and welcome Tom as a visitor. So our agenda, looking at our agenda, looking at the state, we have 59 paid up members doing about the average we normally do. Thanks to Tom for taking care of all of our membership responsibilities. Keeping up with CapMac is through a variety of ways: our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, the calendar, our website, whatever thing you choose to do, you can find out what's going on. So what do we have on the agenda? Very quick business and announcements. We have a short presentation by myself, Cokie, and Nancy, and then the main part of the program for tonight will be a discussion of what was announced at today's Wonderlust event held by Apple. So I hope many of you had a chance to see it. Unfortunately, I haven't yet, but we'll rely upon those who have seen it to let us that haven't know about what Apple announced today. The board's pretty much the same as it's been for the last 2 years. I consolidated a bunch of slides into one, make this go faster. Main thing is, should you want to, our scheduled board meetings are on the first Wednesday of the month. Let us know if you want to attend, and we'll make sure you are aware of how we're doing it. We have a number of appointed positions for those who are doing a variety of things, not so much when we're doing a virtual call like we are tonight, but when we're doing the hybrid calls, a lot of things are done there at the restaurant, particularly by Jim, to set up all the AV equipment so we can actually record and share our meetings over Zoom as well as in person. Just a reminder, as I mentioned before, we do have a YouTube channel, fair number of followers. It continues to grow slowly in the number of people following the channel. And we have recordings of our meetings going back on, let's say, through early 2019, early 2020, about April or May. So we have a fairly large library of videos there covering a variety of topics from our speakers that we've had since then. Help desk, we had a couple of tech questions earlier tonight. Typically at these meetings, the first half hour is unrecorded and is our opportunity for those of you with a technical question to ask, and hopefully someone will have an answer or at least some suggestions. The other thing, if you cannot do it at the meeting, if you get onto our Slack channel, you can post something there and hit the help desk, or you can send an email to president@capmac.org and I will forward it to our help desk team. Our newsletter has been going out. I've done 5 of them, and I'm not going to click the link. There was a link in the last email. Just a bunch of this and that and other things there. So feedback would be welcome if anybody is liking that or has any suggestions or about it or wants to contribute. We've had a few contributions every month, but I'm always welcome to more. So you can visit it at the link here or the link that was in the last email. So news of interest, and that's quick because I don't have too many things this month. We do have the Apple User Group member discounts available to all the mugs around the world. This is the list of those that are currently available, and per their request, if someone wants to take advantage of that, and we've had a few people recently do that, send an email to president@capmac.org. I will then send you back the password to get in and how to make a purchase of one of these items at a discount. So that lists everything I had business-wise. I'm thinking,
John?
Tom,
Yeah, we've got only about, everybody has paid their dues for the next year.
excellent.
There's about 3 or 4 people that haven't. Dues were due 12 days ago. So, if you haven't paid dues, but everybody that's on here it was paid, so.
All right. And we will have our annual election coming up. There'll be more information about that. But, and please correct me, Tom, if I'm wrong, but we will be doing nominations next meeting in October. The election will be in November.
Yes.
So if you are considering running for one of the offices, keep that in mind. Is there any other business we need to address before we get on to the program?
John, I just want to mention that the bookstore the bookstore that you were talking about has just published new books on the new OS is coming out, and the new iOS is coming out, and they're on sale right now.
Take Control Books. Yeah, I see. I'm on their mailing list. I saw those.
Yeah,
Thanks for sharing that, Nancy.
John, I noticed that I'm not on the Twitter account or the X account.
I haven't altered anything with it.
Okay, I've just noticed that, but I do.
Thank you, Elon.
You used to be, weren't you, Cokie?
Yes.
Okay, you should still be there.
It just depends upon who you're following and who's following you.
Well,
Okay.
but you should be able to log in because she
Oh
had
yeah, I do.
CapMac
I don't have any problem with that, but
okay.
just on your thing, my name wasn't on there.
All right.
That's okay.
On the
Yeah, your presentation.
I will do that. I'll get you on there.
Thank you.
Okay, so there's no other business that needs to be taken care of or other announcements. We'll go ahead with the technical part of our program. I have a very brief thing to share. And one of the things, I wear an Apple Watch. Oh, it's not on right now. I have it charging, but I wear an Apple Watch. I wear it to bed every night. But of course, when you go to bed, the glasses have to come off so I can sleep. But if I look at my normal watch face, which is the modular watch face, I can't read that tiny print without my glasses. So typically in the evening when I go to bed, I would switch it to the extra large face. That I can read without my glasses. But sometimes I'd forget, and then I'd have to find my watch in the dark to switch the watch faces. So to fix that, I resolved it through shortcuts. And what I did is create 2 shortcuts, very, very simple shortcuts. They're shown here in their entirety. So one shortcut I set up, and I should say it's a automation under shortcuts because they discriminate between automation and shortcuts, but it's in the shortcut app under automation. I created one that would fire off at 10 o'clock, 2200 every night. And it would then set this watch face to extra large. And then I have another one that is scheduled to run at 30 minutes past sunrise that changes it back to modular. And as it turns out, you will look into that a little further. And this one has the when and the do. Well, the when is shown here in the right screenshot. I said time of day, set the time and have it run daily. And then the do part, there is an action for the watch that says set active watch face to, and you simply type the name of the watch face and now it will activate it. So in a few minutes, you can create a shortcut automation that can modify your watch face to be whatever you want it to be at whatever time you want it to happen. So I just wanted to share that with you and remind you all that using shortcuts can give you a lot of power. And ask, ahead of myself, and ask, is there interest in perhaps at some point having a shortcut workshop where members can share shortcuts that they have that they're using with others, or try to work with those who have done more to develop a shortcut of their own. Would a workshop like that be of interest?
This is something that you would have been, it's everybody in this courtroom.
I don't hear anybody saying anything, so I'm guessing maybe.
Definitely for me, yes, I'm interested.
I think that'd be useful. I was on mute. So
Well, we'll talk to the board the next time and see if we can't do that. I know there are a number of people in CapMac that have done their own work shortcuts, just not me. I mean, beyond me. So there'll be, I think we could gather together 2 or 3 people familiar with creating shortcuts and help those who are wanting to do one on their own. All right. So if there's no questions for me.
I think it's a real handy one that you have to make your watch face automatically bigger at night. That's solving a problem that many of us that haven't had cataract surgery already can't see at night. So I think that's pretty clever.
Yeah, and if anybody wants more details, just contact me and I can get you this, send you the shortcut. But it's so simple, it's not hard to create. But a lot of it is looking at shortcuts to find out what can you do. And it changes all the time. And for apps that you have added onto your phone or iPad or computer, they may add additional actions you can take advantage of. So there's a lot, you just have to kind of dig into it. It's not very intuitive. But anyone with a question, send me an email and we can talk offline. There's no other questions for me about this. I'm going to pass it on to Cokie. Although I see Cokie's, there she is. So
Let me get ready.
all right. Well, let me know when you're ready.
Okay. I'm gonna go do sharing.
Okay. And I will unshare mine.
You see that now?
Yes.
Says, well, this is the InstaCart menu. And so I'm gonna just give you an example of how I do my shopping. As you can see, there's several stores that you can shop at. And my 2 favorite are H-E-B and Costco. So they're always at the top. And there's several more, and then it gives you some information as you go down. You can go to Walgreens, Randall's, H-E-B, Costco, Sam's Club, and you don't have to be a member of Costco's to use it. So that was interesting. I didn't know that until I read about it. Sprouts, Sprouts Express, Central Market, and then Target Now, and then it's got Restaurant Depot, CVS, so you can order prescriptions, Specs if you want alcohol, and there was another alcohol one up there. And anyway, there's Lowe's, Petco, so you can order dog food and stuff like that. So this is all the kind of stores that there are. I'm going to just go through the list real quick. So there's a lot of them. And like I said, the main ones I use are, sorry, didn't mean to hit that, are H-E-B and that. And as you can see in my H-E-B thing, I already have 6 things in my cart. So I'm going to go to H-E-B. Up at the top, you have an area right here where you can see what you're, ask for a search for anything. So if I put soup in there. It will go to the different kinds of soups. And it will also show you some of the HEB soups, which are very good, by the way. Whoops, that wasn't one. Here's one here. It's chicken and dumplings, and it's really good. And it's, as you can see, it's 16 ounces, and it's $6.19. And I think that's a pretty good price for an afternoon meal or something. So there's a bunch of those that I really like. There's a couple more. And my favorite one is, I like the chicken tortilla soup. It's really, really good.
Cokie,
And
can you sort this list?
yeah, you can sort it. You can go up at the top, you can go up and specifically ask for a certain name of something too. Here's my favorite. No, that's not my favorite. Sorry. Here's my favorite. Nope, that's not it. Anyway, and then you can get more if you get to the more button. So they have a lot of different soups. Okay, so a lot of different soups and a lot of regular soups and stuff. Okay. That's a new one. That chicken noodle soup. I like the chicken noodle soup too. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how to do soup. So I'm going to add one more thing to my list. So I'm going to type in pony pony tail holders HOLDERS and hit that. So I'm going to add that to my list because I just need some regular old ponytail holders. So I'm going to get the cheapest ones right there. And so that's going to be added to my list, and I'll go back and show you my list again. Okay, here's the items that are in my list. And I just put the ponytail holders, whoops. Ponytails are at the bottom where it says HEB damage-free hair electric. Anyway, hair holders. So that's how quickly you can do that. And you can do your list and save it so that you can set yourself up a list. And you can also buy fruits and vegetables, and they also have recipes. Let me see if I can find any of the recipes.
Cokie, is this an HEB app or an app that includes HEB?
This is an ad that does HEB and all those other stores that I showed you earlier. Let me see how I can get there. I always forget.
You're actually on Instagram?
InstaCart. Called
Instacart.
InstaCart. Yeah.
Okay. That's the app.
Yeah. And there's also, you can go back and see. Let me see if I can go back to it.
How much does it cost to use the app?
It depends on what store you go to. Like with Costco's, because they have bulker items, the price may be a little bit more expensive, and you may have to pay a little bit more fee to have it delivered, because it's more bulk items. The smaller stores like Sprouts and HEB and all of those, you don't get charged as much. So that's why I like HEB, because it's cheaper and you can get discounts and all of that as you're going on.
But you should know that the HEB prices online are higher than the HEB prices in the store.
No, I don't think they are on Instacart.
I guarantee they are.
Oh, really? Have you done it? Because I didn't notice that it was.
I don't
'Cause I,
use Instacart, but I use the HEB app that's where Instacart has taken you to find
Mhm.
out where things are in the store, because I shop by aisle.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
the prices that I see on the app are different than the prices I see when I actually go into the store.
Okay.
So Tom, that's very interesting because it seems like when I am in HEB, they have discounts for people that are on the app. Like, if you're using the app, things are cheaper than what's on the shelf. And sometimes on Sunday there's a free item. So it's interesting that you say that they're higher. I'm kind of reluctant to add yet another app to my phone. So I don't have firsthand experience. So thank you for sharing that.
Well, what you do, Ginger, is you go into the HEB app and you search the coupons, and then you put the coupons in your personal account. And then when you go to the register to check out at the store, you bring that up and show the barcode to the cashier, and you get all those coupons that you saved while you're at home, plus all those that you've collected as you went around the store.
So
But that,
here's my Swanson low salt beef broth, and you can see down below where it says you've saved $1, and it's got coupon applied. And I've the green circle with the tag in it is my discount, and it shows it over to the right where it's was 50, well, sorry, $6.39, and it's $5.39. Can you see that there where it says, well, that was down here, I'm sorry. It was $4.48, $6.98, and it's $4.48 because I got two of them. And same with this one. I didn't do that one because you have to spend $28 to get the $6 discount. So I thought that was a little much, but I did another one, I thought.
And then do all these things get delivered to your house?
Yes. Then they get delivered to your house, and I was going to try and find one of my, let me go back here.
Do you have to pay the driver or anything?
Yes, you have to pay for delivery, but it's not that much. Let's see if I can find one of my,
Can you use the same list if you're going to just back up to the sign and they bring it out to your trunk?
yeah. You can that's what I'm trying to remember where that is. Oh, here,
But-
let me go back to here.
if you're going to pick it up, you would use the HEB app, not the Instacart app, right?
No, I use the Instacart app because that's what I've been used to doing. And
Right.
the reason why I got Instacart is because as a blind person who uses public transportation or whatever, it'd take you forever to get to a bus to go. Well, it doesn't take forever, but I'm not as healthy as I used to be, so I can't walk as much as I used to be able to. And so if it cost me a $10 cab fare to get there and a $10 cab to get back, and that's $20, then I'm saving that money to go towards the funds that I'm paying for the delivery, and it comes to my door. So that's what I like about it.
So there's
Yeah.
a delivery fee and a tip, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a delivery for. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just do my finish my part because that's all I'm going to get right now. That's all I need. So I'm going to check out. So I hit the checkout. It says continue to checkout. It gives you the opportunity to buy something else if you need it. So you can go through the things and look and see what you want to buy if you want to buy anything. And so it gives you some quick things that you could go over or maybe you bought something before, like I buy Gatorade to go with some medicine that I have to take. And so some of the things that you buy are going to show up there. Okay. And then you go to continue to checkout. And that's my address. So it has my address in it. And it says delivery instructions. I will have my garage door open just before you drop off so you can put it in the garage. I will be there. And then I choose a priority time. And I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to do it tomorrow, not at 7 a.m. Well, maybe I can do it at 8:50. They'll probably be a little late anyway. Sometimes they're a little off. Sometimes they're a little bit early. It depends. And then you have all your information here. Daytime today, September 12th, 5:50 to 10:05. So it can come anytime between that time. It has my phone number, and it has my regular Visa card, my debit card, because that's what I use. And the one thing I don't like about it is you have to switch. If you don't remember to switch, you'll end up putting it on this card instead of my Costco card. So you go to pay with. It's not opening up. But you have to go change that. So you make sure it's done. You can also make it a gift. You can send a friend, maybe that's sick or something, that may need some soup or something. And you can send them some of that homemade soup that they make to their home. So here it says delivery tip is 15% right now. And they raised it up a little bit because of the weather when it was so hot. So it's going to cost $7.43 to have it delivered. And then it gives you all the delivery fees and the service fees and the taxes and all of that. And then it gives you your total savings at the end. And then it has InstaCart savings with fees, and you can add promotional codes or gift cards if somebody sends you gift cards, and then you place your order. Okay, after you've placed your order, you still, with this one here, it will tell you that you can get some, maybe they're low on something, like it says here, 1 count of Clorox disinfectant wipes, 3 count, and then it gives you some other options. So you can either have them refund it, you can have the person who's shopping for you just get anything, anything in that category. And you can't, so I'm going to pick this one because I like the lemon smell best. Okay. And let's see, Clorox disinfectant mist. Oh, I wanted the mist because it smelled, I had rodents at one time. And so it's got the mist, the mint flavor. And there, I'll get that one. Okay, so I made that choice. And then on this choice, sometimes it'll give you a cheaper choice too, but I'm going to get the Arm & Hammer one because I like that brand. And let's see, shopping. But you don't have to choose those if you don't want to. You can have the shopper look for you. Oh, yeah, I'll get these. I'll get this size. Okay. Okay, and this, I already know what I want, so. I'm having a flea issue at the moment. Okay, so then you go down here and it says my order, and it says view all the items you ordered. You can do that if you want to. Then you hit next, and now it's gone and sending your order to the store. Your order is confirmed, arrived today by 10:05 p.m. and you can edit it. You can add it, edit it, or review items, 8 of them. And oh, I guess I missed one of these. Let's see. I don't want stock. Okay. All right. Now I fixed that one. And then doesn't have my favorite one on here, but I'll get chicken tortilla. Their chicken tortilla soup is good too. Nope. I want my balsamic. So I missed a couple there somehow. Okay. Now I'm done.
I sure hope, Cokie, you don't get weird stuff. You know, it's always hard when you're doing something with an audience.
Oh no, no, I'm pretty good with the app. So no, I know what I'm getting, and I'm using my magnifying glass too.
Well, a lot of times we end up having to get very creative. We're like, why did we buy this thing?
Yeah, sometimes I do say, let the person pick it, or I'll refund, especially with Costco's, because Costco's is a little more expensive. It gives you the option to add things if you need them.
I thought you wanted it tomorrow morning instead of tonight.
Well, I did, but they didn't give me that option. Sometimes they do. We'll give it to the next morning. It depends on how late you get it, but it'll get here quick, so I'm not worried about it. I usually go to bed about 9, 10 o'clock, so it won't be a problem. So then there's also, you can invite friends to and they'll earn money. They'll get $10 for you and $30 for a friend. And so you can invite them. It'll give you the total of how much it's going to cost you. And so anyway, that's the InstaCart app. And like I said, you got so many options of places to order from, which is good. Okay, I'm going to stop my sharing now and let Nancy take over.
The one that I'm going to talk about is Shipt.com, and it does not offer as many places to shop as Instacart, but it has some really great features that I just want to share with you. Since I stopped driving about 3 years ago, I've used delivery services. I've done Randall's, I've done HEB, I've done a couple of others, and this is far and away my favorite because of the special options that they have. All right, come on. You just go and you register with them. If you're on your Mac, you go to the site, and if it's in iOS, you just download the app. I personally prefer shopping on my Mac because I can see everything easier. The available stores that are listed for you are based on your stated zip code. So somebody who lives in Georgetown is not going to have necessarily the same options that I'm going to have, but it's going to be stores that I know I can shop from. These are some of the stores, or these are all the store options that I have. As I said, it's not anything near what Instacart has. Pardon me. But I usually go with HEB, and when I open it up, the first thing I'm going to see is items that I usually order, so that I can just quickly. I mean, I'm not doing a grocery order unless I've got folks coming to my house. So they're always there, and I just click and say I want them. I don't have to hunt for them, which I think is a really nice feature. But you search for what you want. You're going to get a whole list of items, just like what Cokie showed you. It's going to have the prices, and if you want them, you just click on those plus signs. And when you finished all of your shopping, then you go to your cart and you have an option to say, it's okay to substitute, and this is what I want, or do not substitute, which means I won't get them. But you know, I don't know that I would survive if they delivered me a 20-pack of Pepsi. So I always say, if you don't, if they don't have Cokes, then forget it. I'll get them somewhere else. So it's real easy to do. And because you go through and do that yourself when you're still making the order, you don't have to worry about it later. Now, when you are happy with your order, then you follow the usual directions to pay, and you choose a day and time for delivery. It can be the next hour after you place your order. It could be tomorrow, and they're going to give you an hour's time frame in which it's going to be delivered, maybe 2 to 3 in the afternoon, whatever. It costs $99 a year. Delivery is free for orders over $35, which, you know, one steak, you'll probably cover that. Tips are automatically built into the charges. Now, here's some of the things that I really like. The shopper sends me a text when starting the job, and asks me if I need to make any changes or if I want to add anything to the order. Okay, and that's real helpful. If questions arise while they're shopping, they will text and ask you a question. It may be not that they necessarily want to substitute something, but they might say, this same product is on sale. Would you like to have it in this version instead of the one that you ordered? And you can just answer back. And then they tell you when they finish the shop and they're on the way to your location. Now, for somebody who lives in an apartment like I do, that's very valuable, because I have to make sure that somebody doesn't leave something at the wrong apartment, which people can do in a place this big. So, I mean, that's it. That's it with Shipt. I think that the extra courtesy and services that they provide they're very valuable to me. And I think the annual fee is perfectly reasonable. I don't pay for any delivery. I just pay for a tip and taxes. So that's Shipt. I guess it's Shipt. But I do recommend it. And if you like to have things delivered to you, you can trust this, and they don't make mistakes. I mean, I never placed an order ever directly from HEB that whoever did it didn't make some kind of mistake. I don't have to worry about this. So that's it.
Can I make? They also do that with InstaCart, where you communicate with the shopper throughout the shopping.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, they do that.
Okay, John.
All right. Well, thanks, Cokie and Nancy, for sharing that. I know we've
welcome.
Past. I think at this point we will move on to talk about what Apple announced today. And since I didn't see the program, Nathan, did you see it?
Yes.
Why don't you take the lead and get things started and I'll sit back and listen like the rest of us.
All right. All right, well, let's start with what they didn't announce. So there's a good article on 6colors.com by Dan Morin. A few things not mentioned in Apple's iPhone keynote. First of all, we have brand new Apple Watch Series 9 and Apple Watch Ultra 2. We have the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. There's also a iPhone SE and iPhone Plus, and then the Pro and the Pro Max. So there's 5 phones that were announced today. The iPhone 15 Pro contains a Thread radio. If you haven't heard of Thread, it's a smart home a smart home kind of, what is it? Innovation. So it's only been previously been available in the HomePod and the HomePod Mini and the Apple TV 4K. So now it's in the iPhone. There is a new thing where the iPhone will give you roadside assistance via satellite if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you need to. They're partnering with AAA to do this. And it's available for 2 years free with any iPhone 15 activation. You can also charge your Apple Watch from your iPhone 15 because now the iPhone 15 now has USB-C. So you can put the Apple Watch USB-C charger into your phone and charge your watch that way from your phone. The brand new iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max are made out of titanium, which is a lighter metal, and it's supposed to be like several percentage points lighter than the 14. But the iPhone Pro will have an action button. They took away the switch for the mute switch, the mute slider. And so there's going to be a button up there so you can use it for, just like on the Apple Watch Ultra, for really either simple things like you can use it to turn on a flashlight, or you can go all the way to complex actions like shortcuts, running shortcuts with that button, which means opening certain apps or even multi-action shortcuts that are highly complicated just from the side button. They're offering a couple new dongles. These are adapters because Apple's getting rid of Lightning. There's now a USB-C to Lightning adapter and a 240 watt USB-C charging cable. Both are $29. And the 20 watt USB-C adapter will charge an iPhone 15 to about 50% in roughly 30 minutes. And then some other things they didn't announce is that next week on Monday, September 18th, all of the iOS, watchOS, and tvOS will launch. So iOS and iPadOS 17, watchOS 10, and tvOS 17 will launch next Monday, September 18th. macOS Sonoma launches on September 26th. And then there's, because the brand new iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max can shoot, and on their camera, they can shoot these Vision Pro for the new headset. They can shoot these. I forget what they call them. Not composite. It's some kind of specialized video.
Spatial. I think he called it spatial.
Oh,
vision.
spatial.
Yeah, spatialized.
Spatial video, and so those are going to be very high quality and very high in a storage space. So Apple has announced new iCloud Plus plans where you can get 6 terabyte storage for $29.99 per month, or 12 terabytes for $59.99 a month. If you are professional plus, professionals can now add an external hard drive to their iPhone and record directly onto an external drive. Anyone pipe up if you have anything to add?
Okay.
I did.
The first thing they said was that Apple Vision will be out early next year. The Apple Watch Series 9 is on Apple Silicon, finally, an S9 chip. And here's where their priorities are. It will be available in English and Mandarin. Has wireless track iPhone and HomePod. You double tap with your index finger and your thumb, and that will answer and hang up phone calls, scroll through widgets, do various exercise functions, start and stop timers, and that will be available next month. Apple went to great trouble to talk about their environmental impact and how the Apple Watch has 0 environmental impact. It's their first product with 0 impact, and they had Mother Nature on there, and they were telling Mother Nature how they had 0 impact.
Who was played by Octavia Spencer, who is on an Apple Plus show called Truth May Come. So there's the Apple connection there.
Yeah.
And they in fact they are not quite 0. They use purchased credits to offset the part where they're not exactly 0. And I wonder if they use all their credits from all their products into the watch to get it to 0. But that's just my question. The Apple Watch Ultra 2 goes high altitude or diving to 40 meters, but they also said at another point 500 meters. It supposedly has 36 hours of charge. You can order it today. It's available the 22nd of September. The iPhone 15, the dynamic island, that's that little black rectangle at the top, adapts with the apps. It shrinks, grows, gets taller and shorter. It's a Super Retina XDR display, 2 sizes for both the 15 and the 15 Pro, 6.1 inches and 6.7 inches. The camera is 48 megapixels with a 26 millimeter focal length. Now, if you use 2 lenses, one for increased resolution and color, then you get pictures that are actually 24 megapixels. And that's phenomenal. 1.6 aperture, which is real good for low light. It has a 2 times zoom telephoto, an automatic portrait mode, has focus and depth control after the photo has been taken. So when you're working on the photo, you could change the focus and the depth of the whole photo. Apple Silicon. It has an action mode. It has an A16 Bionic chip, which was introduced on the the 14 Pro. So this has been around a little bit. It's also in here. It has automatic voicemail to text, and it has a better battery. It's got a bunch of wireless features. It has a special ultra wideband chip for increased range. It also has voice insulation that can filter out background noise. It uses artificial intelligence to get to where it recognizes your voice, and then it can filter out all sorts of noises in the background. The roadside assistance via satellites through AAA, free for 2 years, as was said. It has a wired connection, USB-C. The iPhone 15 is $799. The iPhone 15 Plus is $899. As Don will be happy to mention, veterans get a discount. The iPhone 15 Pro also has the Pro Max has the Pro Max is 16.7 or 6.7 inch screen. The regular iPad Pro is 6.1 inches, titanium alloy, but there is still aluminum on the inside, and the titanium and aluminum are specially bonded where they touch. It's the way this is meant to be more repairable. That the thing on the side that used to be the ring silencer is now called an action button. It's got the A17 Pro chip, a new graphics processor, a 3 nanometer chip. It's got 19 billion transistors on it, 6-core CPU. The Pro also has a USB 3 cable on the side up near the top where the power button has been, as well as the USB-C at the bottom. The camera has 3 lenses, but they're equivalent to 7 lenses. You got the 48 megapixel camera, just like the other one. And if you are in low light or you want a better color, you get 24 megapixel images. The telephoto was 3 times, but it has a 5 times optical zoom with 120 millimeter focal length. And they do that by as your image comes into the camera, into the lens, it bounces around a couple times through a prism to where they can actually get what is the equivalent of 120 millimeter focal length. That's at a 2.8 aperture. And ultra something. I can't even read my own writing. 12 megapixel macro focal length. Oh, you can take pictures of stuff that's real close. And you can it allows video recording to an external drive. It has 3-dimensional videos, spatial, and that will come out later this year. The iPhone 15 Pros start at $999, and the Pro Max.
Oh, I've left the front door open for you.
They have additional iCloud storage. They're available Friday the 15th and in stores next week. That's the end of my notes.
I have a comment. I was really impressed with the new watch, especially the ability to do things, as Tom mentioned, by doing this twice, which is real handy if you have something else in your other hand. But I actually liked it so much that I tried to order one after the presentation, and I went through the whole process to order it, and then it said it was unavailable. So I don't know if that means I have to wait until the 18th to place an order. I thought we could order early, and obviously I was incorrect. But I'm really looking forward to getting it. They have some cool new watch bands as well, and all of them, most of them are climate. positive for the climate. Even the specialty ones like Nike and whoever the other big designer is, they worked with them also to make them climate appropriate. So I'm looking forward to getting my watch, and I'll let you know how it goes.
They said you could order them today, Nancy. You were
I
doing.
know, but
I thought they said you could pre-order the phone tomorrow, but the watch the day after tomorrow.
No,
Well,
pre-order on the phone is Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said the watch was available the 22nd of September, which is a week from Friday, and they say it's order it today. It's what they said.
well, I tried. It could be that the band that I chose was not available. Who knows? I will try again in a couple of days.
Yes, some of the bands are not available yet.
Yeah, it didn't say that, but I'll spend some more time researching it. But I am looking forward to getting it because I use the watch. Okay, I used to have to pay a whole bunch of money every year for one of those things you wear around your neck that says, you know, I've fallen and I can't get up. I don't have to pay for that anymore because my watch does that for me, which is a real, it's a good feature. So anyhow, I'll let you know when I get it, what I think. I don't know if anybody else is getting one right away or not.
I
but-
am.
Are you? Okay, good. So that's
Yeah.
my comment.
And I have a comment for all of you ladies out there. There is a very nice, beautiful pink phone if you like pink.
Well, that was a good summary between the two of you. Who else has something to add or questions about what was announced?
I have a question about was it the availability? No. Oh shoot. I sidetracked myself. Let's somebody else talk.
That's never happened to any of us, Don.
Speaking of which, that's why I wanted to ask, especially about the Ultra 2, taking into consideration the average age of this group. It seems to me that the Ultra 2 was designed for an extremely active person.
Yes.
And I wonder if it would be worth the extra $300 or $400 to get the Ultra with all its thickness and capabilities, titanium and all that. Aren't the other 9s going to be available in titanium also? Because I've seen the prices range from the high 200s to well over $1,000 for some of these executive watches.
So the 9s are going to be, well, the SE is aluminum. There's also I think a stainless steel version, and then I think just the Ultra is titanium.
The ones that are not offered are not having titanium. It's probably the next round that they will. But Don, I agree with you 100% that those Ultra watches are aimed at people who dive, people who climb mountains, people who are on bicycle races, all that kind of thing. That probably is too much for what any of us.
Right. They talk about people that do a lot of skiing might want the Ultra for the altitude information. Also, those that scuba dive, and they talked about bicycle racers, especially like the Tour de France, where you're going up and down hills and
The
stuff.
longer battery life might be helpful, 36 hours or 72 in low power if you happen to be away from charging.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. Or if
They are bigger and heavier.
Yes, they are heavier.
My wrists are shrinking.
Well, then tighten your band 1 notch.
I'd rather my belly.
I think we all would.
Salads.
Good stuff.
I lost 20 pounds.
The other thing that I thought while I was watching the presentation is it took me a few minutes to realize that they were not in, when I went to Macworld and I got to go to those presentations, you know, we were in a big auditorium and everybody came out and went on the stage. It seemed to me obvious that the one that they did today was not in front of anybody. They just put together a movie. And
No, since that they've been doing that since COVID. It's all produced now.
I'm sorry, you said they did do it like in an auditorium?
No, they've been doing this since COVID. It's all produced now.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, the last several have been the same way, Nancy.
Speaking of which, I've got the URL for the event in the chat, and it will take you right to the YouTube presentation, all hour and a half of it. So if anybody wants that to watch in the future or send to a friend, you know, maybe you'll get a discount on your next watch if you get somebody to buy one.
Or even better, send it to an Android person and torment them.
Exactly.
Can you put that in the chat? That link?
Yes.
You
I've
already
got
did.
the chat right now. I put it in at 7:04.
Hard to get it. There it is. Okay.
Click on it, it'll take you to the YouTube
Yeah, I got it.
file and start playing it for you all the way through.
You have to scroll up. It's at the very top of the chat.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing is an hour, 22 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I said an hour and a half. I roughed it out.
Hey, John,
It's
a good looking computer that you have behind you.
Yeah, matches my
Are,
one
are,
and up in the garage.
are you going to? Well, I have one like that as well.
I'm not quite sure to what you refer.
I'm really thinking about upgrading it, but I'm not sure what I can upgrade it to.
I think he's talking about my virtual background.
Oh, for John. Oh, yes. That's an antique.
No, it's not. I'm an antique. I'm an antique, and maybe you're an antique.
Anyone else have anything to share or questions to ask?
I have an interesting question. It probably is all my fault, but I'll be using my iPhone, and every once in a while, the whole bottom of the screen will drop down, and I'll have a blank top half of the screen. And I think I have to swipe up with the bar in order to refill the screen with everything that's supposed to be on that particular page. But I don't know what I'm doing to cause that. It's all of a sudden and uncalled for. Does anybody else experience that?
I have, but I don't know how I fixed it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a feature, just for those that want to use their phone one-handed.
Well, I've got the item for the extended thumb. So you do a little thing and the screen will change so that you can reach the bottom of it. I know what you're talking about, Nathan. Yeah. But this is, for some reason, it just loses the bottom half of the screen, which is filled in by the top half, and then the top half of the screen becomes black.
Mine does that too, Don, and I also don't know what it is that I do to cause it to happen. And fortunately, it's really easy to fix, but
yeah,
I've never been able to associate my action with.
I don't know why they would offer that feature.
Yeah,
I don't see any.
Yeah, it's happened to me as well, and I've noticed that it always happens when I'm pulling something down, like a scroll bar or something like that. maybe my finger's in the wrong place, which causes that to happen. I think it's a feature of some sort, but I don't know what you're supposed to do with it.
Well, when I correct it, I'll touch all over on the screen to find out where a spare knuckle might have bumped into the screen and caused it to happen, and I can't make it happen again. It only will do it on its own when you least expect it.
Is the screen
That's
sensitive?
part of the feature.
Is the screen sensitive to the heat of your fingers? So it seems to me sometimes you don't actually have to touch the screen for it to register that you waved nearby
That
something.
happens to me a lot. I get too close to the screen probably, and it does spontaneous things that I don't want to have happen. And unfortunately, my vocabulary gets raw.
Oh,
So-
you're going to embarrass
your
Siri with that kind of
magnetic-
talk.
It's your
My biggest
magnetic personality, Don.
my biggest aggravation is when I'm trying to turn the screen off and I'm holding my phone. I'm evidently holding the other side and I end up taking a screenshot instead of turning the screen off. But it's easy to delete.
My question there is, how many times do you have to punch a button in order for it to react to do what you want it to do?
Yeah.
But one thing you have to be sure not to punch it too hard. Because I've found that if I touch a button too hard, then nothing happens. We need to touch it gently. I had a problem with my phone and that I've had before where it wouldn't ring. It was driving me insane. It would not ring. And unless I was looking at it and caught a call, I wouldn't even know I had one. And so I finally did the smart thing and talked to Apple. And the problem turned out to be that I had a ringtone, an external ringtone that I bought, how many phones ago, that didn't come with the Apple. And when they had me change from that to one of the standard rings, my phone started ringing all the time. So it could be that the ringtone I had, was no longer compatible. I don't know, but if anybody has that problem, I'll save you some headache.
I looked up the answer on the one-handed mode. Let me share my screen and I'll show you.
I think the problem is that the phone is designed for young people with smaller fingers.
Yeah.
All right, so if you swipe down just right where the top of the dock is,
Okay.
then you get that little arrow up there that turns it to
Black
one
screen,
hand mode.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, show that again, Nathan, please.
Okay, so I'm. Do you see my mouse?
Yeah.
So I'm swiping about right here, right above the dock, swiping down.
Oh, okay.
But that's with a home screen. This
Okay,
will
so if
happen in any kind of app too. Like right there, where would you do it,
About the
Same
same
place.
place, like about right here.
So I'm accidentally bumping it.
So what's supposed to be the benefit of doing that?
It's to use the iPhone one-handed, so you can reach the top. Like if you have an iPhone Pro Max and you want to reach the top of it with your thumb while you're holding the bottom of it.
Like you're carrying groceries with one hand and talking with the other one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I never knew that. Thanks for sharing that, Nathan.
Okay.
Well,
I
this
have a tidbit for everybody.
Good.
Have you ever gotten to the point where you're no longer getting audio from your phone?
Nope.
Then I must be the only one. I must be the greasiest person on earth.
You mean what kind of audio and which app?
Audio on everything. All the audio from the iPhone.
Did you turn the volume button down accidentally?
Nope. It was all the way up.
When was the last time you had it cleaned out?
What do you mean?
Well, there little bits of fuzz will get in there that are just atmospheric, and they'll all get stuck in there to cover it up. With my iPhone 8, I took it into the Apple store, and they've got a really cute little kind of glue that they pack down into the speaker hole, and then they gradually pull it out, and it pulled up. It was fuzzy on one side. And we tried the phone after that. It was like somebody put a new speaker in it.
So sometimes it's pocket lint from carrying it around in your pockets.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what happens to your watch sometimes too.
Exactly.
Actually, what it was grease. Okay.
Oh.
I just happened to be going to Batteries Plus for another reason. And I
Okay.
complained to the guys there, and they said, we can fix that for you. And I said, yeah, okay. So the guy took it back, and what he did is he cleaned out the speaker, the little element at the top of the screen, at the top of the iPhone.
That's very small.
Huh?
That's very small.
That's what?
Very small.
Yes. And he cleaned it, and he cleaned all along the top and along the top of the screen. Voila. Audio came back.
Wow.
So if it happens to disappear to you, don't give up, and don't go to somebody who says, we're going to have to replace the speaker for $200, which is what I went to Best Buy and what they wanted.
Oh.
So with the thing about not hearing a phone ring, Nancy, I wasn't getting callback messages, and I realized that I had the setting to send all phone numbers that aren't in my address book to just go direct to voicemail. So if you ever are calling a doctor's office or something and expecting a call back, they never call back from the number that's actually the main number.
That's right.
And make sure you turn off the don't bug me with spam calls.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at everything. I looked at sound and haptics. I did research on the internet. I spent 2 days trying to solve that problem before I gave up and asked the experts. But yeah, you're right. If the doctor's offices never call you back on their main number.
Yeah. But that is kind of sad that you lost this ringtone that you've carried from phone to phone to phone.
Yeah, because it was Georgia on my mind, and it was a really good version of it, and it reminds me of where I was born. But I'd rather have the phone ring.
Well, and you probably have different ringtones for different people, so it was only ignoring some people, which is kind of also a problem.
No, I don't have different ringtones, so it was doing equal opportunity ignoring.
Problem I have is I still have a home number, and people think they can text me on it, and the home number doesn't get text, so they're thinking that I'm ignoring them. But the sound is better on my wireless handsets at home, which has got a real connection to the internet instead of all this cell phone. Cell phones just so always kind of munch things up to get them through the air, and so you end up with this compressed sound. So
Ginger, did you switch from a landline physical copper wire to VoIP?
yeah, I've got a VoIP, but it's still plugged in to internet directly. It's not, just YouTube. So I mean, I've got a handset that is connecting to the base station, but that's much more robust.
It might be able to accept a text message. It won't be able to do an MMS, but it might be able to do an SMS message.
You know what? I just as soon not get any more text messages from everyone. I just say, that's my home number. If you want to text me, use my mobile. I could kind of connect. My mom's got hers all connected. Somebody did it, and she doesn't know which phone to pick up when it rings. But
Ginger, we switched recently from an AT&T landline, totally overpriced, to Google Fiber, and plugged the landline into Google, so it's now VoIP. When some person that doesn't know any better sends a text to what used to be my landline, which is now my VoIP, Google converts it from voicemail or whatever to text and sends me an email with it in it.
So if they send a text,
feature.
Yeah,
right?
They convert the text to an email and send it to me.
so somebody texts that number and it gets converted into an email.
Which Google sends to me, yes.
Okay,
This
so
is
I've got,
Google phone service, right?
if somebody leaves a voice message, I get an email and a recording of it. And that's handy when you're traveling internationally and you don't want to turn your phone on. You just have my cell phone go to the house phone and have it record and go into my email. Yeah, but we've got Vonage for VoIP and Peter's got an UMA line. So we've got a couple of pretty cheap VoIP
I like
providers.
that.
Oh, well, I'm letting you guys know that my Instacart's going to be here soon.
Woohoo!
Yay!
So I don't know any of y'all that are kind of space buffs, but you can get notified when the space station's going over. It's called Spot the Station, and it'll send you a text. And we got to notice that the space station's going over. When is it, Pete? In a few minutes?
39 minutes after 8 o'clock.
So we're probably going to go up to the park where we can look up and see if we see the space station. It's just
Yes, it'll
Got
go
one
over.
called ISS spotter, and yeah, it's coming around.
It'll be at
It's
82 degrees above the horizon.
Yeah, it's
It
gonna be
appears
straight
10,
over.
10 degrees above southwest and disappears 14 degrees above northeast. So
Yep.
it goes from southwest to northeast.
And
as
how
you would
long?
expect.
How long will
And
it be up
for,
there?
for 6 minutes. So
Yeah.
it'll be whizzing right along.
So that's
But this
kind of
is- That's a
fun.
long time. That is
Yeah,
a long time.
Sometimes it's too low and too short for us
Yeah.
to see it.
Or it's at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's cloudy.
Just
Too
wait
many
till
trees
daylight
around my
saving
house.
time disappears. You'll have plenty of dark at 6 o'clock.
That's true. Yes, Peter, somebody mentioned that there's an unlikely chance we'll see it because there are actually clouds in the sky.
Oh, what? Why?
I've heard rumors that moisture can fall out of the sky. I don't really believe it, but I
No.
saw
Oh,
it
you're
on.
just being Chicken Little.
No, this is a myth. No. Plus the infernal heat will burn off any humidity that's there. So
I mean,
no
everyone
problem.
knows that water only comes out of the end of a hose, but there's a chance we might learn that it can come out of the sky.
Don't stand there and look up.
The politicians have been telling you more lies.
There's a movie by that name. Don't look up.
Oh, I'd like to see that movie. Has anybody seen that?
Yes, I have.
Is it good?
I would rate it at a B. Acting could be a whole lot better. I mean, they've got some great actors and actresses in it, but it just doesn't seem to carry very well. But it's an interesting concept about,
Can
like
you send them in the heart for me, please?
what is it called, the cancel
Yeah.
culture type of thing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I think the card has arrived.
Thank you. Yes, it
got a
has. I'm sorry. I thought I turned it off.
Well, I
But
just
yeah,
think Cokie does
my Instacart
a
is
real
here.
world presentation. Not
That's
only does she
right.
order it, she gets the stuff while we wait.
Yeah.
That's right.
I guess
just in
Instacart.
this case,
Instacart's
how
a better
quickly they
name than
deliver.
somewhat delayed cart.
Yeah.
Are we
See,
all
they were
supposed
even
to,
earlier. They were supposed to be here at like around 10:10.
are we all supposed to adjourn and go over to Cokie's now and eat?
Oh,
Well, we
I
know
don't
what
think
she's
you're gonna
serving.
Be able to eat very much soup.
No.
I'm serving soup and
HEB
duck
soup.
and
The real-
downy and
The real question, Cokie, is whether or not you have a Coke over there.
Lysol wipes.
yeah, that's right. I'm gonna make some beef soup.
Are those flowers edible?
You know what they are?
Do I know what they are?
No, I said they are edible. No, they're
Oh,
not.
good.
They're not edible.
Oh.
But they were real when I
Okay.
got them. They were real flowers when I got them, but they've already passed on.
Bless their hearts.
Yeah, I got this really cool card. I just brought it up over my curb to the back door. Now I got to turn off my garage here. I'm going to tell you how I do it all. No.
Cokie, you might mention before we leave the information you shared with me about Kasai. Other people might be.
Oh yeah. Kasai Hussein went into the hospital this morning and his surgery was scheduled for 12 o'clock. They found a cyst, a large cyst on his kidney. I don't know. I didn't ask him which kidney, but they said it was 49% chance of him not having to lose his kidney or 55%. So that's what they told him. So we haven't heard anything yet. So we're going to go see him tomorrow. Zena and I are. And so we'll know more tomorrow. But he went into
Who
the
is
hospital.
this about?
Kasai Hussein. Kasai. He used to come to the meetings and stuff, but since he's gone for his doctorate, he's not going as often.
53rd or
I would have the picnic.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kasai was at home with a bomb because his father worked with the U.S. troops, and he's blind, and like I said, he's had 54 surgeries.
Yeah, 59. This is going to be his 7th.
And he's finishing his PhD. So,
yeah. So anyway, that's what's up with Kasai. Just got to find out if he's lost his kidney or not.
I want to thank everybody for the wide-ranging meeting tonight. We covered a lot of different topics.
Yeah, we did. I liked it too. It was fun.
That was interesting.
I'm sure I left.
Is that picture the station going over that somebody's sharing?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, really? Where? Oh, there.
Okay, so we need to look that away. Okay, thanks. Well, we're going to head up to the park and see if we see a gap in the clouds.
A little bit to the southeast in general, but basically overhead.
Okay, thanks. It's just kind of nice to look up and see something going by up there.
Yeah. And it's only 3,600 miles away right now.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Take into consideration 18,000 miles per hour.
Wow, if you were in Bastrop, it goes right over Bastrop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we can get there in time. We're just going to have to make do with the park. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and it's going over San Antonio.
Well, John, I'll move that we adjourn.
I think it is that time. The only thing I wanted to add is it won't be long before they'll start tracking the Chinese space station, this being assembled.
Yeah.
It'll be visible. I don't know if it's big enough yet to be visible, but it won't be long.
I just hope they don't put anything on them.
Well, you just can't trust them. I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, the government is their government is that way.
Yeah.
Okay, at this point, does anybody else have anything to add or questions to ask, or are we just going to call it quits early tonight?
Don't forget CapMac rewards points end the end of November. So do your activities and get to the next level.
Okay, well, don't forget to give me points, Tom.
You're on the list.
Thank you.
Well, folks, I guess then if there's nothing else, we'll gather again for this meeting, the second Tuesday of October. Hopefully, at least a few of you will be on the coffee call towards the end of September. But otherwise, you can always send an email and reach out if you have a question.
Hasta la bye-bye.
All right. Goodbye. Night, folks.
Goodbye. Good night.
Bye, y'all.